Well, hello and welcome to Round Glass. I'm Vishvapani and thank you for joining me in this session in my series Beyond Breathing. So, in today's practice, we're going to focus on opening up in our experience. So that's opening up to the present moment and meeting it with a sense of curiosity. Now, we'd love to hear from you. So I invite you to use the chat to describe your experience of meditation at the moment. Just one word. It might be new, or it might be habitual, it might be restless, intense, blissful. Whatever your answer is, that's perfect. So we've just passed the new year, and did you make any New Year's resolutions? It's a little way into the year now, so this can be the time when things start to just get a little bit problematic. Resolution is quite interesting, I think, when it comes to being in the present moment, because it's about having a goal. And that's important. Resolutions can really work. A couple of years ago, my resolution was to start running. And my target was 5K. First of all, now I met that, and now I'm on to 10K and so on. So it's all going well. Having a target was really helpful, but it did have a slightly unhelpful side to it, which is I can be focused on getting to the next goal, running for that bit longer, getting that bit fitter. I can find myself just checking my Google Fit stats, if you know what I'm talking about. Everything measured and statistics for everything. It becomes slightly obsessive. And all of that is different from being in the present moment. So this, quite simple desire to be fitter has gotten me involved in that whole world. So how can we hold the value of goals along with the value of being really present? I mean, what I want when I run is a sense of vitality, a sense of abundance. And that's what I want from being fitter as well. I want to feel better. But the only time that you can feel better is the present moment. So that's the thing we need to be careful about with goals. And we can spend our lives waiting to get to a time when we'll really be living. But the only time that we can be alive is the present moment, right now. That's what mindfulness really means. And when we do a period of meditation, we are making that conscious. We're saying this time, this period, we're just going to be fully present with our experience. And one of the things that goes with that is that it may be that our experience is difficult or uncomfortable or painful or something like that. It may well be, because everyone's life includes difficulties. So when we turn to the present moment, we may encounter something that's not entirely pleasant or comfortable. And the invitation with meditation is to meet that, meet our experience, however it is, with an attitude of openness and curiosity. So inviting it in. Right, let's get into it. We're having a shorter session today. So let's settle ourselves. And the first part of what we're going to be doing is about arriving and then settling. Okay, so how do we arrive? We just bring our attention to the present moment. And what do we notice? What do we feel? So the body, feeling the body, and just sense it. Now, this is sensing the body from the inside, not looking at it from the outside or thinking about it. Feeling the body from the inside. What we feel when we rest on the floor, we rest on our seat. What are those sensations? It's not the thought of the sensations, it's the sensations. Let's take a breath. That's always a good way to help us arrive. Breathe in. Breathe out. So a deeper breath. And then just letting the breath continue to flow. Flowing in, flowing out, and staying with the breath as it flows. And that's it. It's very simple. Breath flows in, breath flows out, and we'll notice a range of physical sensations in the chest, in the nostrils, coming down the windpipe, including the whole of the body, and then the diaphragm billows down and the abdomen expands, and we can just sense all of that, all of those sensations, and let the mind, let our awareness glide along with these sensations, like we're surfing on a wave. Just as the wave rises, as the wave falls, we just stay with it. Feeling the breath, feeling the body. And this part of the process is very simple. What's maybe less simple is what's going on in our thoughts. Any sense of discomfort, or maybe there's pain in the body. So that's not so simple to start with, at least. And the simple part, the breath, that is our anchor that helps us to stay present and stay in touch with a feeling of being grounded, rooted, present. Breath flowing in, breath flowing out. And noticing what's happening in our experience. And can we keep on coming back? And that gives us the space to notice. Notice the thoughts. Notice the feelings. allowing them to be present, inviting them in. It's okay to feel whatever we are feeling. Might be a feeling of agitation or restlessness or discomfort. Just include that in the practice. It's a feeling like all of the others. Maybe there's a strong pull to keep on thinking, a tug at our mind, a sort of whirring, a buzzing in our thoughts. Well, how does it feel to have that experience? Just including it, inviting it in. It's okay to feel what we feel. And just letting it all go. Anything that feels complicated, anything that feels agitated. Let's just take a minute to rest, to pause, to breathe, to create some space. Can all wait. What's here right now? Maybe a sense of settling, a sense of ease in the body. Ease in the mind. Breathing, resting, settling. So we're starting now to make a transition, moving towards the end of the practice, introducing some movement, neck, shoulders, whatever feels helpful, whatever feels right for you to make that transition. When you're ready, opening your eyes. So, In the practice, we were exploring being present. So it's really good to hear from you what your experience is. So there's a comment here. As a new meditator, there are so many things to get used to. What's your best advice to remain patient? I find myself frustrated trying to get settled. Okay, so thank you for asking that. I think the main thing is just to be patient with that process. It's natural that we feel impatient, we get frustrated, but actually that frustration is part of the practice, noticing that we get frustrated. And what does that feel like? Where do you feel that frustration in the body? What's going on that is the opposite of being settled? What's happening for you? So, that practice, it was about inviting things in and just, notice if there's lots of thoughts, what are those thoughts? Because otherwise it's like meditation is something we're doing to ourselves. I will do this thing, then I will be calm. As if calm was somehow separate from my mind. So there has to be this, what we call mindfulness or awareness, just being willing to explore. And that might sometimes feel a bit uncomfortable. That might be a bit distressing or uncomfortable. So, what I recommend for you and for everyone is taking a gentle approach. We're moving towards being present, but that, may not feel easy. That may not feel okay. Be very, very gentle with yourself, and there is time for this to unfold. There's more time than we know about, more time than we think. So thank you for that question. In a way, what we were exploring in that practice is that the practice itself is very, very simple. Follow your breath, sit still. That's about it, really, in terms of the technique. But what's not so simple is all of the stuff going on in our mind. It's going on in our life, and then it's there in our thoughts. It doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you, that it's not so straightforward to settle. But it does mean that there's something to look at and explore. So I'm going to finish with some words by the poet, the English poet, John Keats. Now, this is one of my favorite quotes. It's from a letter. He wrote the most amazing letters and to a friend, and it's all about being in the present. He says, "Let us not go hurrying about and collecting honey. Be like, buzzing here and there for a knowledge of what is not to be arrived at. But let us open our leaves like a flower and be passive and receptive, budding patiently." So let us be passive, not quite the right word, but receptive. Let us open our leaves like a flower. Isn't that fantastic? So, thank you for joining us. Thank you for sharing this time with us. Please continue to explore your meditation practice with us. You can check out our daily live meditations at round.glass or on our app. Have a really, really great day. Stay present, stay open, and stay aware.